PIRELLI'S on. Here we go, guys. Cameron on the left, we got Dusty on the right, who gets a better run. Bit of wheel spin off the Red Bull there of Cameron, but he gets a pretty good run still, keeping ahead of the Aston Martin, who is so close behind. How close are they going to get through turn one? And as they all go on through, we got a bit of issue with Sean trying to get ahead of the Aston Martin there, so close behind, almost having a bit of contact there, crew. And you can see a bunch of cars trying to get through down in the back of the grid there. I think a bit bunched up. Hopefully no major contact as we get on through. We do have some incident. Vroom in an instant down in the back of the track, and he's stuck there. Probably trying to get back going again. We'll see how well it goes. Dusty holds on to second place. Cameron holds on to the lead. Sean is up in position against David, who's back down to fourth. Right where he started in the sprint race. He got up into third to finish in the sprint. Let's see if he can get back in position again. Optics up by 6 positions. Skills down up by 1. Goes Astro by 6. Chapichio up by 1. And Liam up by 9 positions in this race session. Johnson down by 10. It's not going well for some drivers, and we're still on the opening lap getting through. I'm going to switch this over to just that off at the second for the moment. Let's have a look out in front. It's Dusty within a second of the Red Bull that leads here. Cameron going to try, of course, to keep him out of the DRS advantage that's going to come alive in lap 3 of this race. We'll see what's going to happen. It's looking a bit cloudy here in the race track right now. Looking at the cars, it does look a bit cloudy. I'm not sure if we're expecting any rain in this part of the session. It was fully wet in qualifying. It was fully dry in the sprint race. We might be seeing maybe some minor drizzles down at the end of this main race session. We'll see what's going to happen. It's still 5/10 between these two as they head onto the main straight to go into lap 2 of the Japanese Grand Prix. Sean trying to follow on through them. Not a close enough gap there. Chapichio and Ghost Astra pretty close up behind each other. Let's see how that's working. The Red Bull of Chapichio chasing after Ghost Astra in the P, I believe it is in front of him. Of course, it's following on behind Skills down there. They go into turn 1 in lap 2. How well does it go? Looks like Skills down trying to catch up to Optics out in front. He's starting to break that gap down just a bit there. I might just be working for him. The grid, of course, getting a bit separated. We got quite a few cars in the pit lane. As I said on that opening lap, we did see quite a few cars bunched up at the back of the grid. So I'm expecting quite a bit of few wing changes probably happening there in the pit lane right about now. Liam here, who gained quite a lot of positions in that Ferrari. He's so close behind the Red Bull right now. Chapichio going to challenge him for that position, I'm quite sure, as the Red Bull goes wide there, almost putting the Ferrari into the back of the Red Bull. He holds back just in time. He's going to go side by side and around the chicane here on the outside, possibly try to get around the Red Bull. Can Apple actually work? Let's see. He doesn't do a switch over. He's going to keep it on the outside, side by side still with Chapichio, trying to hold that position. It looks like Liam might just come out on top of this as the Red Bull is around the outside, though, tries to hold back on the racing line and defend against the Ferrari, which actually works, keeping Liam down into 9th. And at least for now, PS Strong gets up into 10th place down in the back of these two fighting for positions as well. Got an Aston Martin, Zach Johnson there having some trouble in Sector 1. Around the S's, I think he's having some trouble. Have a look and see what's happening in just a second there. And Liam up against Chapichio. He's up into 8th. He's got the position done. And I think he's going to hold on true to it. There's a half a second gap. Cameron, of course, getting fastest lap so far here in the session as we head into lap 3, and DRS is now online. It's going to be a bit of an advantage for everyone running within a second of the car in front of them. Let's see how many drivers do get it. Skills down and Piastron in the pit lane right about now, doing a pit stop early off in this race. Quite sure they've taken some damage on those cars. Maybe it's why they've done that pit stop there. We're going to have a look and see what happens there again. Let's see as they get on out already. Either way, let's get back up in front here with Ghost Astra and Optics side by side. The Ferrari and the Williams here. Can the Ferrari stay ahead? That's what's going to happen. Liam trying to gain positions as much as he can. And he's already ahead. He's going to chase after Ghost Astra now in the Alpine in front. So he's gotten past Chapichio. He's past Optics. He's now going after the Alpine of Astra. Astra, of course, under quite a bit of pressure here to try to defend that position. Liam has some significant pace in the main race here in this Ferrari. Let's see what he can get done. Conditions on track, of course, still dry. But from the way I'm seeing things, I'm thinking we're expecting some minor drizzles. Or maybe some just some general drizzles coming down to the end of the session. We're still early off in the races yet, so a lot can happen. Let's see how this is going to go on through. Chapichio and Optics fighting for position. There goes the Williams losing a position. The Red Bull up into 7. The Williams down to 8. Wasted quite a bit way behind, so he's not nothing to worry about right about now. Spillage right now on the other hand, chasing after the McLaren of Skills down. Let's see how that's working out. He got a penalty, and it's a 210 gap between the two of them, trying to see if that's going to go anywhere or not. Out in front, David still down in 4th, not able to get that car back up with the podium place as well. He fought his way through in the sprint race, got it up. There goes Spillage against a McLaren. He gets ahead on the straight here, holds that position through the turn, and yep, he's done a pretty good job of defending himself in there as well. Skillzan not able to get past a hit to see if he's going to get a position back into the next lap as we head into lap 4, I think it's going to be now. Yep, it is going to be lap 4 now. Switch it on the... oh, we got quite a few pit stops happening here as well. Opening stages of this race. We're going to go back to Liam here in the Ferrari as he's working his way through the field. Ghost Astra, as we said, is the next driver ahead of him for P5. And we got Chapichio chasing after him. It's a 2.1 second gap. And we already seeing some drizzles on track. This is getting quite interesting. We have a lot of pit stops happening in the opening stages of this race. It's only lap 4. And I'm quite sure I just saw a few drizzles on one of these cars. So maybe the rain is starting up on one portion of the track. Maybe not all around. Either I'm seeing things or there is actually rain coming. We'll see what's going to happen either way. The Alpine slowing down drastically here, holding up the Ferrari a bit, who didn't actually go by. Let's see what the case is going to be. They're staying on board the Ferrari for a reason here right about now. Really want to see, did I actually see some rain? Or is that just a bit of glitch in the graphic? Or I just want some rain so bad in this race that I'm actually seeing it at this point in the session. Except we have a full safety car, is it? I think it is a full safety car at this point. Looks like Explicit Tyson is out of the race session. Let's go with Cameron. He is following on behind the safety car right now. So first safety car in the main race here right now. It's lap 5 of 27. And the commentator thought he saw some rain. I'm trying to figure out where I saw it. I'm just really hoping for some rain here. Johnson disqualified for ignoring yellow flags. So he is disqualified from the session. So that's 2 drivers currently out of the Japanese Grand Prix. We got 18 drivers now remaining in the session. Let's see how this is going to work on through for them. I'm still not seeing any rain. I'm not sure what I saw. I could swear I saw a few drizzles for a second. Now there's nothing on track. We'll switch back to the overhead cam for now. And of course, we're going to have to go to the safety car. Let's see if there's going to be any pit stops here at this point in the session. I think if it was going to start to rain, they'll probably do that pit stop. Doesn't seem like it's going to be the case though, as everyone's still running on track with the way they are right about now. Let's have a look at tires if we can. Yeah, so top half of the grid still right where they started on those set of tires. Most of them change off to the hard tires there. Possibly try to run a long stint as much as they can. We do have a few cars with penalties, of course. It's going to affect their race positions at the end of this session. We'll see how the penalties work themselves out. Either way, it's looking pretty good so far. For the main race here, lap 5 of the Japanese Grand Prix. Cameron, of course, leads. Dusty running second. And of course, he's going to close that gap in against the Red Bull now. So let's see if on the restart after the safety car goes in, if he can get a possible chance of taking an overtake on the Red Bull. Sean, of course, running third. David in fourth. Ghost Astra now up to 5th. Liam chases everyone down, gaining positions. He's up to 6th. Wasted in 7th. F1 Immortal running 8th. Aslage in 9th. We got Jake Lee in 10th. Chapichio 11th. Optics in 12th. Lancer currently 13. Panda in 14. Spillage in 15. Vroom in 16. Skillsdan in 17. And Piastron in 18th on the grid. But yeah, definitely looking like an interesting session so far. Just waiting for that safety car to go back in. Going back on board for a second just to see if there's any potential drizzle on track. Doesn't seem like there's anything as yet. We might be out of luck for this rain for the main race. I was expecting there were going to be some drizzle coming down to the second half of the race. I was excited to see if it was going to start in the first half of the race, because that would have been a bit more interesting than going to the second half to see how the drivers handle it in terms of the changeover of the tires as well. So we'll see how it's going to work itself out. Okay, so coming down to sector 3 in lap 6. There we go. Safety car is going to be in at the end of this lap. We're going back racing into lap 7 of the Grand Prix. Cameron, of course, still leading this race. Dusty running second. He's going to try, of course, to follow that Red Bull as much as he can, close as he can for this restart. Let's see. We're gonna stay on board with the Aston Martin right now. Let's see how close he keeps to the Red Bull, and how the restart is gonna go. He's waiting for Cameron, of course, to go first here. No overtaking until they get across that white line. The Red Bull has gone. He's gonna go now. Already losing a bit of time. Half a second is where the gap is. Sean already trying to get side by side with him in here, as we can see, getting into turn 1. Does he get the position up? No, he does not. Holds on to that position there in P3. David coming down behind as far as you can see there. There goes the Alpine of Astran. Liam fighting for position. That is already Liam up into P5. Goes Astran down a position here as Liam is fighting his way through the grid. We're going to have a look at him for in just a second here, see what's going on. Jake Lee. And let's have Optics and Astrolage fighting for positions down in the back there. I believe it is as I'm trying to see who's going on here. What's going on? Astrolage down to 13th. He's probably had contact with someone, but he's lost a few positions there. Look at the AlphaTauri of Jake Lee right about now. 210 gap towards F1 Immortal in front of him. Optics so close behind. It's going to be an interesting battle in the midfield right now as these guys go on through. Looks like a Williams just went a bit wider, did he? Let's have a look. No, he's coming alongside the AlphaTauri right about now, trying to go side by side with him. Let's see how that's going to work out. So, F1 Immortal, Optics, Jake Lee, all close up together. Then we got Lancer coming at the back there, just a few tenths behind. He's trying to get in the battle as well. Chapichia follows along behind him. Panda in 13, Spindly trying to follow on through the battle. It's a train of cars going on through down in the midfield here to the back of the grid. And Lancer trying to get up a position there side by side with Jake Lee as he's trying to fight for P11. He does, P10, sorry, he does get up to P10. Jake Lee down to 11. Is still a 10th with Chappie Chio behind him. And the Red Bull, of course, has the pace along the track. He's going to try to gain some advantage here if he can. Let's see what he can get done. His teammate Cameron just get the fastest lap there in the race again. It's a 133.481 race pace for him. And it's gone pretty well as you see a train of cars going through the main straight here into turn 1 on lap 8 of 27. Got 20 laps still to go in the Grand Prix. Chapichio getting ahead of Jake Lee. He's around on the inside here. A bit of contact with the AlphaTauri, is it? No, just almost having some contact though. The AlphaTauri trying to hold that position there. Gets it back again from the Red Bull. He's back up into 11. Chasing after Lancer once again. It's a 10 between Lancer and Immortal having a bit of a battle. That's a spinner. That's a spin for Jake Lee now. He's all the way down to 17th on the grid. Not having the best of luck there. Lancer and Immortal so close together. And then Panda follow on Chapichio there. Quite sure that incident might be investigated at the end of this race session. We'll see what the case is going to be. Spillage is Chapichio's out of the session. Let's see what's happening to the Red Bull. And there's the Red Bull on the side of the track. He's had contact with someone, I'm quite sure, that was way too close with a few cars down there in the midfield. So someone's probably going to be losing some points or getting a penalty or something at the end of the session by the stewards for that incident there. I think it's a full safety car, is it? We're trying to have a look right now to see what the case is. Is it a full safety car or a virtual safety car right now? I think it is going to be a full safety car for that. And it is a full safety car. Optics out to the session as well. And there's the Optics car. What happened to Optics on this one? Anyway, let's get back out in front. There we go. Here are the pit stops right now. It's lap 8 of 27. They're getting in a pit lane on this safety car for some pit stops. We're going to have some tire changes. So let's see how that's going to work with the grid order, of course. Which it looks like TTG Sean did not take a pit stop. He's going to take over the lead of the Grand Prix. But on old tires, of course. How old is his tires? I'm quite sure maybe he took a pit stop earlier on. He's 8 laps now. He has not taken a pit stop. So he's 8 laps on those hard tires. We're going to keep the tires on for a sec here. And see how this goes on through. Panda now up into second place. Spillage up into third. But he's on a pit stop before. He's on 4-lap old hard tires. And he's saving a bit through the safety car right now. So it's advantage to him. Vroom there. 7 laps on his tires. He took those on 7 laps. He took a pit stop on the opening lap of the race. Which is why that happened there. Piestron in P6 now. Astrolage in 7. Cameron, our previous race leader, has taken a pit stop. He's back out on track in P8. Dusty, who was running second, is now P9. And we got David now running in P10. Liam in 11th. Wasted in 12th. F1 Immortal 13. And Lancer in 14th on the grid there. That, of course, is the order at the moment. Jake Lee Ghost Astra, Optics, Tapatio, Explicit Tyson, and Johnson all out of this race session, unfortunately for that there. But we're going to continue on with everyone else who is currently still running in the race. Got 14 drivers still left here in the Japanese Grand Prix, but it's so early off in the session, losing so many. Unfortunate, but we're going to continue on. Sean, of course, now leading the Japanese Grand Prix on the tires he started the race on. The second half of the grid, of course, have done their pit stops, and they're ready to go after the first half, who will still have to take another stop in this race. So, of course, they're going to be getting back their positions out in front. They're going to be working their way through the field. Cameron and Asilage going to be going at it again, because Asilage is now 7, Cameron 8. As we remember, those two started P1, P2 in the sprint race. Asilage, of course, didn't have the best of luck through that session. Had to switch it up with his teammate. But we'll see what's going to happen right now. Will Asilage keep Cameron behind him, or will he let him go? Of course, he's not going to be actually battling him, because his tires are 8 laps old. Cameron on fresh medium tires there. But we'll see what's going to happen. It's going to get a bit interesting here when that restart happens, when the safety car goes in, which I'm assuming is going to be at the end of lap 10, and we're going to go racing into lap 11. I'm quite sure that is, of course, going to be the case there. Okay, so we're about to get back racing here again into lap 11 of this race. We're about to go, as Sean, of course, leading currently in the Alfa Romeo. Panda here in the Williams running second. Spillage running third. Let's see how they get the restart going. Our previous race were Cameron running in 8th and Dusty running in 9th, who was previously second there. Alfa Romeo already gone for it there, already about 6 tenths ahead of Panda here. Let's see how the restart goes with them. I'm trying to go down to Cameron, who's going after Asilage here into turn 1. And I think Asilage still goes to, so Cameron gets an easy pass up into 7th place. Dusty going to follow on through with him. Let's see how that's going to work. It's a 7th gap towards Piastri out in front, who is so close to Skills down. I'm trying to follow on with that battle that's following on behind him, and Vroom going through. Out in front, the lead is held by Sean. Panda still running second. Spill is still running third. It's like a 3 to 4 tenths between them at least for the moment that we have it going here. And there goes Piastri and is out of this race, unfortunately. I think we just passed that incident. It's a bit of contact here with Lancer and F1 Immortal. No damage sustained on that incident there, but it might be looked at. So Lancer gets ahead. He's up into 12th. F1 Immortal down to 13. They continue on in this race here. Asilage Scar still goes to, so he's going to fall down the order in the session. David up into 8th right now. Let's go up the order, see what's happening with Spillage out in front, trying to get up into 2nd place if he can here. It's a close gap. Skills down and Vroom. Let's have a look on board with Skills down right now. Is McLaren chasing after the Alfa Romeo of Vroom. Vroom's teammate leading the Grand Prix right about now. Let's see how the advantage works for them. They're going to need something to happen in this race for them to keep this lead. Maybe another safety car could potentially happen in a few laps time. We'll see what the case is going to be. How long can they hold out in front on those tires? They're on the hard, so for quite a bit I assume. There goes Cameron trying to get past Skills down right now. He's up into P5. A bit of contact with the McLaren as he gets around. He's trying to keep that going there. Skills down trying to follow on through behind him. Dusty coming now. Here goes the Aston Martin. A pretty close gap with the McLaren. He might try for a move in turn one. No, he's not. Not close enough as yet. Let's switch back to the overhead cam. See how the Aston Martin gets through. It's a 210 gap towards Skills Dan though. Dan definitely under some pressure here for that position. It's lap 12 of 27 for the Grand Prix. Let's see how the rest of the session is going to go now. The McLaren trying to defend for P6. And out in front trying to have a look at the race lead at the moment there. It's a 410 gap between the top three. So we got Sean still leading the session. Panda, of course, running second still. Spirit still running third with a penalty though. So we'll see what's going to change in the next few laps here. Cameron now up into P4. As far as we can see here, he gets past Vroom. That's Liam out of the session. He was working his way through the field. He's now DNF the race. I think that's another safety car. I think Sean and a few other cars probably hoping for this. If it is a full safety car, we're going to have a look right now. Let's see what the case is. But it's triple with yellows all around. And it does seem, yep guys, it is another full safety car for the incident that whatever happened with Liam's car. So he's out of the session. We're down to 11 drivers remaining in the Grand Prix from 20 that we started with. It's getting a bit insane in here. Sean leading the Grand Prix right about now. Let's see if there's going to be any pit stops as they come around that pit lane entry. And yes, there are going to be some pit stops from the race leader going in. Sean gets in the pit lane. I'm quite sure Panda might follow on through. Yes, he does. And let's see who else goes in. Cameron, of course, already done a pit stop. He's not going to be going in. He continues on through, and he's going to be taking over second place in this race as Spillage does not take a stop. Remember, he was already 4 laps on the hard tires there when the previous safety car came out, and those other guys took their pit stops, including Cameron. So he's gaining a few positions here. And, of course, his tires can make it quite a way into this race. So let's see how this strategy works for Spillage. Of course, coming under pressure for now Red Bull on this restart is not going to be good for him. He's going to lose positions. It might cost him quite a bit. Let's see what's going to happen. Skills down 11 laps on his tires. He hasn't taken a stop either. Dusty, of course, he took a previous stop before. David, of course, as well. F1 Immortal. And then we got Lance on the P7 right now. 5 laps on those mediums. Sean, of course, now back out on track, but he's in P8. So what can he get done to get back maybe onto a podium position here to finish off this race session? Spillage, of course, with a penalty. Panda with a penalty. So they're going to have to be careful on what's going to happen at this point here now. How the rest of the race will go on through with them. And how they plan to actually get those cars onto a podium position for a finisher if they can. 11 drivers left in the Grand Prix. And it's actually been quite an exciting race, I gotta say. Even, especially with starting with 20 on the grid, was pretty good to see 20 drivers on the full grid starting off this race session. Unfortunately for those we have lost. But it is quite interesting with the races we have going on. Let's hope that we have this as the last safety car going into the second half of this Grand Prix right about now. As we're on lap 13 of 27. By the time we get this restart, it should be into the second half officially there. Let's see if we're going to get a restart on the next lap, which I'm hoping for at this point here. We got Spillage trying to warm those tires back up as much as he can here. We might be looking at just one more lap on the safety car, so that's going to put us into lap 15 for a race restart if that happens. Let's see what the case is, and it does look like we're going one more lap. We're just letting them run the one more lap, and then we do get back racing again. Okay, so let's go see. There we go. So the safety car is going to go back in at the end of this lap. A bit of a late call for the safety car going in. And we should be able to get back racing here right about now. Spillage, of course, still leading. Cameron up into second place in the race here after his pit stop. Let's see where he goes at the restart now, chasing after the Haas. It's going to be a close call as they get into lap 1. That Red Bull has some significant pace here. So he's closing the gap on the Haas right now. They get around into turn 1. As you can see, the Red Bull very, very close out behind the Alpine of someone there. I think that's F1 Motor trying to keep as close again to Sean. The Lancer here. He has a very close gap towards David there. That's his teammate, of course. Mercedes are fighting for positions here as Lancer gets up ahead of David. Doesn't seem like it was a bit of a risky move for them. But then David is losing positions in the back now. Sean is up into 6. David is down to 7. He's lost a position there. Cameron up into the lead, of course. Didn't not too surprised by that. There, Spillage down to 2nd. We know Cameron had the pace. He was going to have that overtake done before the lap, of course, was out. So Spillage running 2nd. Skills Dan running 3rd. Dusty running 4th, Lancer now into 5th. We're following on with him because it's a 310 gap towards the Aston Martin in front. That's Dusty there. Can he get ahead? He has the pace in the racetrack right now because these Skills Dan out in front of them, trying to follow on with Spillage and trying to get ahead of Spillage. He's on even older tires than Spillage in the Haas, and he might just have the pace to get past. We'll see what's going to happen, but it's getting very close and very interesting with what's happening on the track here. The Haas is going to have to try to defend here for 2nd place in this race. Let's see how long he can hold on to that position. Skills Dan challenging him right now. The Aston Martin of Dusty coming on just behind in 4th, followed by Lancer challenging him for that position. He's in 5th. Sean in 6th, still within a 2nd. David in 7th now, within a 2nd. I don't know if you can go with a bit of a further gap as we get down at the back of the grid there. But out in front, getting very interesting. Lancer again, very close to that Aston Martin as he gets around sector 1 here. Because see how he closes the gap. Does he find a gap to get an overtake done? That's going to be a tricky part here, especially on this portion of the track. The McLaren in front of the Aston Martin there, trying to hold his position. He's lost a bit of time towards Spillage now. Let's see what's going to happen. There goes the Mercedes on the inside. A bit of a bold move, and he might just get it done. He's up into 4th. Dusty down to 5th. That was a bit risky from a Lancer there, but he got the move done. And that could have actually ended pretty badly for him. But he got the move done, kept that car stable through the turn. And he's up into 4th place. He's on for maybe a podium position at the end of this race here, with the pace he's got going at the moment. Dusty's down to 5th now. Was previously running 2nd. Has a bit of way to work his way up the grid here. Let's see if he can get anything done, because Spillage there still holding on to 2nd place. Skills Dan trying to challenge him up, trying to fall back into the 1 second gap to have the DRS advantage. Of course, Lancer has that advantage against Skills Dan right now. It's a 7-10 gap. The Mercedes is going to go for it in a few laps time. It's lap 16 of 27 here for the Japanese Grand Prix as Lancer chases after the Sean now, chasing after the Dusty or P5. That's still that battle goes on through. Sean here has been up and down the field at the moment. He's trying to hold that position. Possibly get another one up if he can here, but it's gone pretty well here for Sean as well. He's up into 6th in this race, trying to gain as much positions as he can. Out in front, Cameron holds the lead and 1.8 seconds ahead of Spillage in the Haas right now, so he's got an excellent lead. He's going to continue building a gap there, and of course Spillage has to be worried about that penalty that he has there. It's definitely going to affect his positions in the race. Even if he pushes those tires all the way to the end of the race, which he definitely could, it's still going to cost him here, because of even if it's just a 3-second penalty, which I think it possibly is. So quick look if you can. It is a 3-second penalty. Panda with a 5-second penalty at the moment as it is there. We're going to leave tires on for the moment, as we can see life of the tires that these guys have on here at the moment. So Cameron extending his lead. Lancer trying to keep a close gap with Skills down here. This of course now for a podium position. Can the Mercedes driver get past the McLaren driver? Let's see if that overtake is going to happen. It's going to be a tough one. Skillzan has been showing his pace through the race as well, trying to work his way up. He's up into 3rd. Quite sure he doesn't want to lose that position, but of course getting to 2nd place is going to be a bit of a challenge. He's lost some pace chasing after Spillage, of course, who is now keeping his own out in front. But let's see how this is going to work out. It's a 0.5 second gap with Lancer behind of him, another half a second for Dusty behind of that, followed by 3 tenths with Sean behind the Aston Martin. David, a bit of a gap, 1.5 seconds as he chases after them from 7th place. Let's see how it's going to work. Sean here, pretty close gap with the Aston Martin. Is he going to go for move into turn 1? This might not, because it's just not close enough, and the gap will just not work for him. The Mercedes looks like he might be under a bit of a pressure right about now as we got the Aston Martin closing in on his gap. Want to see how that's going to go for him. Skills down, trying to keep his car within the DRS range, of course, of the Haas to see if he can get some sort of advantage. Spillage, trying to keep out of it. It's going and coming a bit, so let's see how those two get on through with that. We're currently on lap 18 of 27. This will give us probably about 10 laps of racing left to go in the Grand Prix. Gonna have a look at our gaps as they are right now. Looks like Cameron extending that lead more and more out in front. It's a 3.1 second gap towards with Spillage down behind of him. He can see the entire grid coming there behind. Maybe he can, or we just seeing it on camera as he's not seeing anything at this point. Spillage, of course, he can see the cars coming behind of him. There's the McLaren of Skills Dan, followed by the Mercedes of Joe Lancer. Dusty in 5th, Sean running in 6th, and it's a close battle here for P5 with these two of these cars flying through the track right now. Vroom on the soft tires there. Let's see, does he get an advantage with that? 5.8 seconds is where the gap towards Sean is. Let's see if he's going to break it down or not. Out the front, Skills Dan is within DR's advantage right now. Of that's what's happening out front. Someone's falling along the order, and that's Spillage there. I think he had a spin. Spillage had a spin. He's lost 2nd place. Skills Dan in the McLaren is up at the 2nd. Lancer, free position up at 3rd, onto a podium place right now. Gonna be quite happy about that. Dusty now in 4th. He's gonna fight for that final podium place, and he's gonna definitely challenge the Mercedes for it. It's only a 6-second gap. He has the advantage here in terms of the DRS. He can use it as much as he can, but then Lancer has the advantage of DRS as well towards the McLaren there, who of course he's going to try to get into 2nd place if he can in this race. And I'm not sure if he's going to be able to challenge the Red Bull or have enough time for it, but we'll see what's going to happen and how that's going to work out. So far so good as we have it. Cameron leads the Japanese Grand Prix. Skills Dan running 2nd, Lancer running 3rd. That's our top 3, and let's see if it's going to stay the same or if it's going to change as we go towards the end of this race. You see Sean closing his gap down that main straight. Definitely trying for a move. He wants to get up in positions if he can. Spillage getting up to 7. Vroom in the pit lane. Trying to figure out why Vroom is in the pit lane there right now. Did he change the front wing as well? No, he just changed the tires onto a fresh set of soft to go the final 7 laps, I guess. Which is not making too much sense to us, I'm assuming. Let's get back onto Lancer here though. It's a chase for 2nd place in this race right now. Let's see what's going to happen to the lead though. Can the Mercedes chase after the Red Bull? Is what I'm interested to see. Does he have the pace to challenge Cameron here, or possibly force him into a penalty, which would give him a better chance of getting onto a pole position finish here? But Lancer here, 3 tenths behind Skills Dan in the McLaren, and it's looking a pretty close gap for them. Let's see, they had about lap 20. It's about just under 8 laps remaining to finish off the race. Can the Mercedes get up into 2nd place? It's going to be a tough call because we know Dan has the pace on track here. The McLaren car seems to hold it on true in 2nd. It might just continue that way. Just behind Lancer though, it's Dusty for P4 and Sean P5, and the rest of the grid follow on through. So let's see what's going to happen as we get on through. Long way to take the soft. Yep, it is. I mean, we've seen a minimum race strategy with those soft tires in this session so far. It's been mostly with the hards and the mediums getting through. I mean, you know how the track is on tires as well. Cameron out in front, 5.5 seconds, leads against the McLaren. Let's see if that's going to work out. It does look like he's going to be having an easy finish on pole here. But can anything change that? I mean, a single mistake out in front could even cost him the entire race itself. Might even lead to no points if he does DNF. I mean, you know anything could happen. Let's see what the case is going to be though. We're still following on through with the Mercedes here. The gap is 3/10. I want to see if he's going to be able to close it down to less than a tenth. And possibly throw a move on Skills Dan to get on to second place. Yeah, Cameron did win the sprint race. Wasn't really a tough win for him, even with a safety car on that sprint race. We got it finished with the final 2 laps of racing after the safety car went in. But yeah, he did win the sprint race. Wasn't a bad finish for him. Started on pole here for the main race, and yeah, he took his pit stop, got back on pole, and he's continuing on through with that. Spillage, of course, didn't take a pit stop on that last safety car, so he is he was leading the race. Then fell down after Cameron got past him on the safety car restart. Then lost the position towards Skills Dan. I think he had a spin is what happened. That's why he's down to 7th right now and running. Skills Dan went up to 2nd, Lancer up to 3rd, and Dusty running 4th, Sean in 5th, David running 6th, and then Spillage in 7th, Panda 8th, Immortal in 9th, Vroom running in 10th, Astley running 11th. I think is Astley still ghosted in the track. Yep. No, that's looking. It's still ghosted on track there. So Astley's having some problems with the I think his console, and I feel for him because I have that problems having sometimes with mine, and it's annoying as hell when it does happen. But yeah, Astley's of course out of this with that there. So let's come to the stand drivers, of course, to finish off this, and he is on fire in this race. So I'm quite interested to see where this goes on through. Hopefully the guys are happy with the stream as it is, and if it is, we can continue this and make this a weekly thing here with the league. We'll see how it goes. I'll have a discussion about it later on in the evening, I assume, with the admins. Back on with Lancer again. Let's see, down back to 3/10. It's a train of them fighting for let's put a 2nd place in this race. So we got Skills Dan holding 2nd, and Lancer following through with him, Dusty chasing after Lancer, and of course Sean chasing after Dusty. David a bit too far off. Let's not count him at the moment. He's over a 2nd away. But yeah, these 4 fighting for 2nd place. There goes Skills Dan into the pit lane. Those tires, of course, started to go on him. 21 laps on the hard tires. Gotta give it to him for that. Not too bad, but he's gonna have to take that pit stop now, which pushes the Mercedes up into 2nd place. But the problem is, he's being chased by Dusty, who's only 2/10 behind. And to get onto Cameron, it's a 7.9 second gap. And we know the pace that Cameron has in this session. He's not gonna be able to keep up and catch up to him in time. Even if he does have the pace to catch up to that Red Bull, it's not gonna be enough. Because we have very limited laps left. I think it's just about 5 laps are currently remaining here for the Japanese Grand Prix. It's just not enough time for Lancer to put it through, put the battle onto him. So we're not going to see that happen. But we're going to see a battle between Lancer and Dusty here. Mercedes versus Aston Martin. Who is going to be better on this session? Who's going to finish where they need to? But the problem we see here is that Lancer has a penalty. So I was hoping he was going to finish on a podium position with the way he was going, but the problem is he now has a penalty, which is going to cost him a bit, and it might cost him quite a few positions. Might put him down all the way to P5 or even P6, just depends how bad. I think it's a 3-second penalty. Is it? Let's have a look. It is just a 3-second penalty, but it is going to cost him a bit there. So let's see how that works for him going to the final portions of this race. Of course, Sean here, pretty close gap towards Dusty, of course, fighting for a podium position, but you can have it pretty easily. Dusty looks like he's pretty close after the Mercedes. What's going on in front here? Let's have a look quickly as they get around. And there goes, I think Lancer going into the pits right now. Does he have damage on the car? Let's have a look on how this pit lane goes. So he's going to get onto the soft tires at the end of this race here. I guess going for the fastest lap, because I believe that does give a point. I can't remember what I saw on the point sheet, but I think that does give one. So I think he's going for the fastest lap there, which is why he just went onto the soft tires, because he knows he's going to lose positions where he was anyway. So I think he just gave that up. So Dusty on to second place in this race. Cameron still leading the Grand Prix as usual. Sean there now running third. He's within a second of Dusty. Can he get ahead? Not sure if he can. Gap's starting to form just a bit here right now. David running fourth. We have Spillage in fifth. Panda 6. Skills down to 7th after taking his pit stop. 21 laps he did on the hard tires. He's down some soft tires going through. Lancer on some fresh soft tires as well. Behind Skills Dan now, as these two are running second and third. They're now running 7th and 8th. F1 the Mortal in 9th. Vroom in 10th. And we got Aslage. Well, his car is still disconnected from the session, unfortunately. So, not much to be said about that. We'll have to let that be. I really haven't followed too much with Cameron's car, of course, because he has been just leading his own race out in front for the majority of the session. We're on lap 25, is it? It's lap 25 or 27 right now. We're finishing up this race pretty soon, and looks like our fifth out race winner is definitely going to be Cameron Poulter there. Dusty looks like he's going to be taking second place. Sean might be taking third. This is, of course, if everything finishes the way it is. David taking fourth. Spillage will be taking fifth because it's an 11-second gap towards Panda. Panda for we might go down to 7th, and Skills down will probably go up a position here. Lancer has a penalty, so he'll probably hold on to that in just 3 seconds. And for the Mortal, 5.3 seconds back, so that's going to sort that through. Vroom there for 10th, and I think that's going to be it, because I don't think Aslage gets any point with being disconnected from the game. Or that's a special situation. We'll probably have a look at that later on. But yeah, as it is right now, we're going to go down to Skills Dan, who's closing in on Panda right now in the, is it Williams? I think it is. Yep, it is. McLaren closes in on the Williams right now. It's down to just under 2 tenths. See where this is actually going to take him as we finishing off lap 25 of this Grand Prix right now. There was McLaren tries to get ahead right now. So he's now up into 6th place. So Skills Dan gains a position here. He's up to 6 now, ahead of Panda. Would have gotten that position either way because of the penalty situation. But he's up another position. If he can close the gap in the next lap and a half that we have remaining, 2 laps we have remaining, he could get ahead of Spillage as well for P5. You see, 11.4 second gap, and I think Spillage only has a 3-second penalty though. So a bit of a tough call on that one there. So let's see how it works out. Gonna go back up to Sean, of course, here. 3rd position right now in the race. Trying to see how Chase after Dusty is going. This is for 2nd place, of course. We got Sean on some better tires here. Some tires that are a bit fresher, 4 laps fresher than what Dusty has on. And he's on the mediums, of course. Dusty in the hards. So could prove to be a bit of an advantage. He is within DRS range now. We're trying to stay within DRS range at this point in the session. Let's see how that's going to work, because it's down to 7 tenths. He's gaining time right now. The Alfa Romeo driver is gaining time by the Aston Martin. Could it be a 2nd place takeover here? Could he be able to finish 2nd place on the podium and put the Aston Martin down to 3rd? It's a possibility here because he's closing the gap right now. It's down to 6 tenths. I think he went out to 5 tenths, came back up a bit. We're going to keep it over a cam for the moment going through, and let's see how they end up this race. We're into lap 26 right about now of 27. Got our racers coming around here, about to enter into the final lap of the Japanese Grand Prix. Here goes Cameron Poulter into the final lap now. Dusty is getting a bit of pressure from Sean. I think he's doing well with it at the moment though. He's trying to defend, trying to keep that car behind as much as he can. David getting a bit racy here now for P4. I think it's just right where he's been from the start of the session. P4 has been his thing. It's a 10th out in front. What's happening with the race leader right now? Cameron under pressure. Did Cameron make a mistake? It was such a lead that he had. I think Cameron made a mistake. is what happened there. We got a battle for the lead here right now. The Aston Martin gets up into the lead. The Red Bull having a problem. Cameron is down to 4th, and this is the final lap of this race. There's no time to get back into the lead here if you can't get past these cars within the next few 2 sectors that's remaining here. Sean up to the 2nd, David up to 3rd, Cameron down to 4th. What's happened to him, I'm not sure. He's having some problems with our Red Bull. I think, does he have a puncture? He has a puncture. He has a left puncture on the car, as far as we can say, as far as I'm seeing here. At least that's what either it's a glitch or it looks like a puncture on that left front there. I'm not sure. It's bouncing around a lot. It could be a puncture on the car. I'm not sure if he has a puncture or not, but it does seem like what the case is. Dusty leading the Grand Prix right about now. I might be wrong about that puncture, guys. I'm not sure, but it does look like what it is. Just looking at what the graphic is showing us. Dusty leading the final lap into the final sector. He might be looking at a win here. Can it change? Sean in 2nd, David for 3rd, and it's so close between the top 3 right about now. As Dusty the Aston Martin rounds about the final turn onto the main straight, and he gets across the line here and wins the Japanese Grand Prix. Not a bad finish for him. Surprising finish at the end. Sean gets across the line, 2nd place on podium position. David for 3rd on the podium. Cameron coming around with his Red Bull, leading most of this race. 99% of the race led, and he just bent it on the final lap there. What happened to the Red Bull driver? He's finished 4th on the grid. Skills Dan for 5th, Lancer for 6th, Panda for 7, F1 Immortal for 8, as he should be coming around just a bit. Not sure if that was expected, but that was quite a change around on the final lap there. So there goes Immortal across the line for 8. Vroom, of course, for 9. Spillage is going across for 10. And that's going to be it there, guys, for this race session. I'm still going to have a look at the Red Bull's car. Is that a puncture on the left right there? Let's just chill on to Discord, see if anything's being said about it. Had a puncture. Yep, he did have a puncture. I actually caught that one right. Unfortunate for Cameron there, but had a puncture on the final lap. And it's cost him a race win here this evening at Japan. I'm not sure he's going to be too happy about that. I mean, that is some significant points lost there as well. Spillage getting driver of the day. Unfortunate for Cameron there having that puncture. I'm not sure how that happened, but that was just so unexpected on the final lap of the Grand Prix to have that happen. And losing out even on a podium position itself here. Finishing 4th, still get some point though in the session. I mean, you know, things will happen. Let's have a quick look at this here. Trying to have a look at the race results. Yeah, there we go. So results for that main race session there. Dusty finishing on pole, Sean finishes 2nd, Dave finishing 3rd, Cameron finishing 4th in the grid because of a puncture in the final lap, Skills Dan finishing 5th, Lancer finishes 6th, Panda 7th, 8 for Immortal, 9 for Vroom, and Spillage finishing 10th. Aslage, of course, was still disconnected from the session, unfortunately. So that's it's gonna be it there, guys, for this for the session. I guess there we'll have if we continue doing this stream on a weekly basis, we'll have these standings updated as we come into the race next week. I'm not sure what track it is yet. I looked at the calendar, but I really can't remember. But either way, guys, thanks to everyone who joined us here live on the stream to watch this race session. Hope you guys enjoyed the commentary with it. Please make sure you do follow us here on Twitch, and of course follow us on Twitter as well. Join the Discord, keep up to date with everything. Appreciate you guys with all the support, and yeah, quite a great race session from the guys there. And yep, just keep following the channel, guys, and we have another race, of course, upcoming tomorrow again, so be on the lookout for that. Do check it out whenever you get a time. Appreciate everyone, and that's gonna be it for this stream, guys. Thank you guys for joining. I'll see you guys on the next live stream.